Yes, love, it's me, Elvish. Today's good day, yeah? In this video, we're going to answer a question that I believe everyone asked, which is, can you beat Skyrim as Moon Knight? So without stalling more, let's get down to business, yeah? Hello everyone, it is I, Elven L, and I've watched 4 episodes of Moon Knight on Disney+, and they were marvelous, I should say. And after watching that, I thought it would be a good idea to make a video challenge based on this Moon Knight character. I think it would be fun. The rule is simple. Similar to my Can You Beat Vault 4 as Doomslayer video, I could only wield certain weapons. This time, I can only use daggers and fists, nothing more. And I have to acquire the full nightingale armor because they look suspiciously similar to the Moon Knight suit, with the symbol in the chest, tight suit, and a hood and a cape. I wonder if Bethesda actually got the inspiration of the armor by Moon Knight, but I think that was just a coincidence, I believe. And that's pretty much it for the rules. Now, enjoy the playthrough. I started my playthrough by making my character, and I tried to make him look similar to Oscar Isaac. I tried my best to look kinda like him. When I faced the bear, I ignored her presence and started grinding my sneak and one-handed skill by stabbing my friend many times, and when it was enough, I went out from the dungeon. Lovely day, innit, bruh? So the playthrough would be quite easy enough, yeah? I have to do the Thief's Guild quest, and for the daggers, Elven daggers would do lovely, because they look the most similar to MK's crescent darts, by color of course. Well, stabbing my friend to get better sneak skill turned out to be a bad idea. Every single enemy that I had to face all leveled up and turned ridiculously OP. For example, the Draugr Lord that had the Dragonstone. I fought him alone for 13 minutes and that was just bullshit, man. The last drop for me was when I fighting Mir Mulnir. If I continue this playthrough, I would be stressed and slap myself until I burn like a coal and the smoke might come out from my tongue. So let's restart, shall we? I changed my name to Mark Spector this time and fast forward till I came out from the dungeon. I encountered many obstacles, but you're watching a guy who beat Skyrim with a fishing rod, so battling with a dagger wouldn't be much of a problem for me. I came to Dragon's Reach, informed the Jarl, and gave the Dragonstone to Horthgar. After that, I was informed to go to the watchtower that was attacked by a dragon. So I went there and Mir Mulnir became easier to handle than a bowl full of apples. Okay. I slayed him and sucked his soul, and then went to Dragon's Reach unharmed. I took Lydia with me in case if I have too much burden to carry, and then together we went to Ivarstead. There was not many problems on the way, and just as usual, I refused to face the troll. I entered High Horthgar and met beautiful old men, and done some marvelous training. Even Lydia offered herself to become a practice dummy. After that, I went to Riften to start the Thief's Guild questline. Brynjolf asked me to steal the Metis's ring and insert the ring to Brance's pocket. And because I was a lad and didn't want to cause trouble further, I dropped the ring and informed Brynjolf that I was being a donut for missing the ring. I came to wait, I've done this part. I entered the Red Way, slew some enemies, and got myself a pugilist gloves, which would be useful for me in this playthrough. I talked to Brynjolf and did his 3 jobs, which I handled beautifully. I reported back to Brynjolf and he made me into a member of the guild. I did my first job in Goldenglow Estate, and let me tell you, it was harder than I thought.
Why are you running?
First of all, the mercenaries were complete fuckers. They were pain in my arse to deal with. I eventually succeeded coming through their defense and reached the little elf to teach him a lesson for having a defense that actually defended him. I reported to Brynjolf and he told me that Maven got a job for me. So, I accepted the next job without hesitation. The job was about to poison a meadery. So, I poisoned a meadery, sent the owner to jail, and reported Maven about the job. Things happened, and Mercer sent me to meet a lizard in Solitude. I followed the lizard into his nest and caught him red-handed, even though I'm pretty sure he noticed me following him. He informed me that it was a girl named Cordelia that messed with the Thief's Guild. So Mercer and I went for the girl, to an ancient Nordic ruin called Snowvale Catacombs. I got fucked and saved by the girl, and then she asked me to find Calcemo Stone to translate her friend's journal. Getting it was no easy feat, but I got it, and gave it to her friend, and he translated the journal. We arrived in the Thieves Guild and informed everyone that they've been fucked by their boss, and to prove that, they should open the vault with treasures and stuff. They opened the vault, and saying it was empty was kinda an exaggeration. At least, he left 2 weapons that would worth enough to buy an apple or 2. But alas, I'm doing the questline just for the nightingale armor, so 0 shit given. Carlia finally asked me to follow her to become a nightingale, and when I got the armor, I just abandoned them, and went straight to continue the main questline. I went to Ustengrav to get the horn of Jurgen Windcaller, and just like my last playthrough, I ran like a coward. But a coward that lives, unlike what their fate later meant. When I arrived in the chamber, the horn was gone. Someone left a note that had a scent of a bitch. I went out from the dungeon, crossing dead bodies of fools, and went straight to the Rivelwood Inn. I met Delphine, and then we went to a dragon burial to spawn kill it. We killed the boar lizard, and then I continued by giving the horn to the greybeards, and they shouted at me. They were so mean that it broke my heart, man. Ouch, man. When I went back to Delphine, she asked me to become a spy and sneak into the Talmor embassy, pretending to be one of the guests. So, she told me to meet a wood elf in Solitude to give my shit to him. I gave him all my shit, and then I'll head to the party. In the party, I took their food and asked the dude to make a distraction. It worked, and I went to the kitchen with the wood elf to get more food, and I grabbed my stuff and became Moon Knight once again. With my dagger, I slashed my way through the embassy, and got the proof that the Talmor didn't know shit about dragons, but what they did know was a guy named Esbern. I came back to Delphine to report her, and she sent me to fetch this Esbern fella. I found the guy, and I'm not kidding, there was something wrong with Esbern that made him as hard-headed as a mule, maybe more, I don't know. I spent 15 minutes, maybe more time, trying to figure out how to escort him out from the Riften graveyard. But when I finally got him out and reached Riverwood, I could finally continue the playthrough with peace. We planned to find the Blades Temple, but when I got out from the inn, a dragon attacked me. Damn dragon was wasting my time, I'm sure of it. This is Amit's doing. Fuck you, Amit. I killed the lizard and then continued my journey to the temple. When I found the temple, Amit sent another dragon once again, that fucking crocodile, but the dragon couldn't stop me, because entering the cave was an impossible feat for it. Inside the temple, I completed some puzzles and had my blood checked to check if I had diabetes for eating many cheese and sweet rolls, and then proceed to enter the temple. One thing led to another, then it was time for me to meet the big boy himself, Paturnax. The greybeards taught me a shout that would clear my way up, so I learned and went up to reach the heavens. I met Paturnax and he himself became sentient and told me that I was impatient. He was not wrong though. Cause it was time for me to get the Elder Scrolls to see the past. I get past the girl outside and get some information regarding someone who knew the Elder Scrolls whereabouts, which was Ace, really. When I got out from the college, I was confronted by some thugs that I honestly couldn't remember why they were here or who I was messing with. Probably those bloody Tamos or something, yeah? Anyway, I ran my way out and with sheer luck, I jumped from the college into the water below and survived. I know I was bleed donut when I did that, no? I found Septimus Signus and asked him about the Elder Scrolls whereabouts. He told me that it was in a dwarven ruin, and he also gave me a cube and a sphere to complete the puzzle in the dwarven ruin. In the ruin, I faced a few troubles but none that I couldn't handle, but I would rather run than fight with my dagger. When I reached the puzzle room, I took a little look on YouTube to figure it out, no shame in that, right? And got the Elder Scrolls. I came to the throat of the world and read the Elder Scrolls. I went to the past and learned the shout that could topple down Alduin, and when I came back to the present, I just shouted the shit out of the lizard until he couldn't even fly like at all. And because of that, Alduin had enough of me, and when he was close to die, he decided to bug the game and had me yeeted out from the game itself. And yes, I had to restart to my latest save. Thanks fucking lot, Alduin. So I beat him the second time, and this time I was safe and sound. To trap Odahviing, I need a place to trap him. Dragon's Reach would be a great place to trap him. But in order to do such thing, I had to calm down a quarrel between two persons in the continent. And so I invited them both to my birthday party, and it was like the most boring birthday party ever. It was the hardest part of this playthrough, just like before. I just sat down and do nothing, reply to their argument once or twice, but that's it. When the party was done, it was time for me to get my dragon for my birthday gift. In Dragon's Reach, I succeeded trapping a dragon. It was not an easy feat, surprisingly, but it was done. We talked, and the deal was I would free him if he could take me a ride to heaven. So I released the trap and he took me to my destination. When I reached my destination, I simply sprinted my way through Droggos and dragons. Inside the temple to reach the heaven, I must kill a few Droggos, and I should say that it was fun. When I finally reached the gate of heaven, I simply dashed my way through the priest and finally made it. Oh, if only going to heaven is that easy. I arrived in the most beautiful foggy place that, if not for the epic song and colorful sky, would be pretty much Silent Hill. I faced Tsun, and he was the most difficult guy to deal with in this playthrough. If he was the final boss of the game, I would be fucked. So I tried to ignore him and simply dashed to the Hall of Heroes. But surprisingly, an invisible force killed me in the afterlife, so I had no choice but to face Tsun. I died multiple times, but when I finally got the guy under a bone, my fight game prevailed as he became impressed of my skills. Kinda. I came inside the hall and took as many food as I could, and met the three heroes that I saw in the past. Together, we came out from the hall to fight Alduin. But before the epic battle could happen, we had to do a shouting battle with Alduin. After we won, we fought him with everything we had. Except for me, of course. I only fought him with a dagger and the spirit that I had no choice left. We eventually won. The lizard was defeated. I came back to the mortal world, and that was how I beat Skyrim as Moon Knight. All thanks to the power of Khonshu.